Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Siphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Today I'm coming to you from Umzimkhulu in southern KwaZulu Natal. Remember that if you want to be a part of our tech conversation, it is SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork@sabc.co.za. On email. Today our Twitter poll is asking you how much you know about digital currencies. This as the Reserve Bank has a digital currency project. Results of that are coming up later in the show. But first, here's what's coming up tonight. We went to the My Future 4.0 Summit. We meet an Umzimkhulu inventor who turns junk into vehicles. We also talk about connectivity issues and how startups can be assisted to connect. The future is definitely different from the present. Technology changes the way we do just about everything. That's why we decided to go to the My Future 4.0 Summit in Johannesburg.
My Future 4.0 is a world-class 3-hour experience summit buzzing with everything digital to prepare you for the future workplace. It focuses on next-level digital skills and career that will enlighten, motivate and excite visitors about the future of skills and careers in the new digital revolution.
On the one side of the dome, Ticket Pro Dome floor, we have a Texpo, which covers, it has a whole lot of companies on it that exhibits and shows the kids the jobs of the future, what's already happening, technology that's already there that people don't know about. They're teaching them coding, they're teaching them gaming development. You can also meet Pepper, our ambassador, on the floor. The other side of the Ticket Pro Dome is taken up by a theatre that seats 1,500 people, and we've developed a showcase or a production that really it is telling the kids exactly what's going to happen in the future in terms of jobs. So it opens their minds in terms of, did I want to become an accountant? What accountancy might be looking like in the next 5 to 10 years, and just opening up their minds to technology and perhaps potential career in technology, whereas before they might have considered something mundane that might be taken over by robots, not in the very near future.
Good morning. Sorbona, Dumela, how's it? What's up?
Pepper has been chosen as the My Future 4.0 Summit Ambassador. The 5-year-old robot has spent a large number of time visiting schools around the country, chatting to students about herself and educating them on technology.
This is the best summit/conference I feel is being offered to our children regarding their futures. But it is going to be my biggest opportunity to reach out and meet so many new children that I have not been able to meet yet. Children will find out everything you need to know about the 4th Industrial Revolution and the careers of tomorrow. Our world is changing, and South Africans are falling behind. This summit looks to change that.
The capabilities of Pepper's in regards to artificial intelligence is extremely small, with her function is to communicate with you in the most natural way.
We are programmed to Caitlin. I am described as a humanoid robot, designed with the ability to communicate and read emotions.
Pepper was created in France and is specifically designed to meet and pass information to humans. She also has an open platform robot, which means that the new features can be added to her over time.
I speak a number of languages. However, I currently only speak one language in South Africa, and that is English. I am working on my African languages and have only started with the greetings, like Sarabona, Dumela, Arshini, Da. I struggle with the clicks and rolling my RRRs.
On average, by 2020, more than a third of the required core skills set for occupation will be compressed to the skills that are not yet crucial for the jobs today. The 4.0 Summit is set to stimulate the landscape in which children of today will find themselves tomorrow.
I'm here to learn more about robotics and coding and to see more technology and stuff that will happen further in the future.
I wanted to learn how technology has changed over the years. As we've seen how gaming has changed. We saw in the movies, one of the videos, we learned about different robots, and we also learned about how things like movies have changed and how we're using technology to have a better future.
There are around 10,000 robots just like Pepper around the world.
I am at Sisulu Township here in Umzimkhulu to meet up with Ayanda Matiba. He is a local innovator who turns trash into cars that move on these roads. Ayanda Matiba dropped out of high school because of circumstances at home. That blocked much of his progress as he never went back to school. But he developed a love for electronics and cars. He'd fix everything at home.
Kwamina ngikhula bengumntwana nje uthanda ukwenza izinto nje ezingaqhelekanga. Yenza izinto ezingaqhelekanga nje like mhlambe ngithatha amamoto ngilayite mhlambe ama globe la endlini yabo mhlambe ngilayite ngama battery in ngaso sikhathi ugesi bongekho. Ngilayite ngama globe emoto.
He says his father was a car mechanic who taught him the basics, but didn't want him to dirty his hands the same way he did. Matiba was then fascinated by what he could create with garbage that people throw out. This is one of the vehicles he's made. He also makes art, like this Nelson Mandela statue exhibited at the local art center in Umzimkhulu. But cars are Ayanda Matiba's love.
Amasondo four-wheeler beziqinqelekela nawo la nginawo ngawafaka. La ngasika ifront isithuthuthu esidala la, front i-two-wheel. Ngayilaminate la ninsimbi nje la ezingathi ama desk esikole la nje ezimapipe ngafaka zona la ukuthi zikwazi ukubamba ifront imibe yiyona.
Without a local tech innovation center and without a space he can be developed here, he often feels his skills won't amount to much, meaning poverty for the rest of his life. He even wonders if it's not already time to park his vehicles and go to a bigger town to do other things. Tractors like these are vehicles you'd find on these rural roads, but we played with something a lot more fancier, the BMW i3.
Part of our key strategy as the BMW Group is to electrify a lot of vehicles. So for example, in the next 2 years or so, you'll have an electrified BMW X3.
Once you've gotten into an EV, there's really no turning back. The actual driving experience is a really pleasant experience. Reality is that we have power most of the time in South Africa. Yes, we have challenges with Eskom, we have challenges with our electricity supply from time to time, but in the bulk, we've got electricity.
The main thing about driving an electric vehicle is that you're not putting in petrol or diesel into the car. And as you know how expensive petrol and diesel are in this day and age, there is a lot of saving in terms of that. Obviously, you still have to pay for the electricity that you use to charge the car, but it's much cheaper still compared to petrol or diesel.
It's very good for the environment, obviously, as everybody knows that. It's just unfortunate we're not subsidizing it, but you also no longer have to worry about the raising fuel costs, which obviously is a big issue in South Africa.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, News Network at sabc.co.za. On email, after the break, we find out how some people are being helped to connect to the internet a little bit better. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. I am still in the rural villages of Umzimkhulu in southern KwaZulu-Natal. But let's go to Soweto now, a township that's become the first in South Africa to get fiber to the home.
Part of President Ramaphosa's economic recovery plan includes driving down data costs and revitalizing township economies. Telkom says it hopes to partner with government to expand the program to other schools in the country, bridging the connectivity gap, lowering data costs and promoting economic development.
The infrastructure that we put in here will be here for many, many years to come. And for us, it's a vote of confidence in the commitment to revitalize the economy. Not just the economy in different parts of the country, but the entire economy. To have an economy that includes everyone. Whether you are in Sandton or you are in Orlando West, you must have the ease of doing business.
Pupils say they've been yearning for access to internet at the school, and this will make learning easier and help them produce quality work.
I'm quite looking forward to exploiting more the world of technology. How? You see, I'm looking forward to being able to access internet to just get more information about the current state the world is heading on, and to be more precise, the fourth industrial revolution. And not only that, but to gain more and more knowledge about the world that is around me, the world of politics, the world of science, the world of technology, and actually the world of everything that you may think of in this kind of environment that we live in.
As I've been driving around Umzimkhulu, I find that in parts I lose mobile phone connectivity. So producer Sandile Hlangane is asking one of the companies that would offer products to SMMEs what more they are doing to ensuring that people truly stay connected while they use their products.
Osama, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's really a great pleasure to be in South Africa.
Let's talk about connected communities and the importance of connecting those communities.
Africa as a continent is extremely important for us, and it has a lot of focus. So today in my keynote presentation, I spoke about the past, because the past can kind of tell us quite a bit about what the future will look like. We believe that the rate of change was fast, but not as fast as it will be due to information technology. It is true, I spoke about the first introduction of the steam engine, which was about near 300 years ago. And that it marked the first industrial revolution, which really disrupted everything we do, from transportation to agriculture to the way that we connect with each other to the way that we even conduct our societies. But then fast forward 150 years later, where we introduced, as a society, we introduced the internal combustion engine, and also electricity was invented. That marked the second industrial revolution. The second industrial revolution, it really took us also to places where we have never been there before. But if you look at the rate of change was slow. But then if we look at what happened since the introduction of the information technology, the rate of change has been kind of exponential, and that was marked by the third industrial revolution, which is really the introduction of the internet. Because when you bring billions of people on the face of the planet and you connect them on a fabric that enables innovation, you bring those almost 4.6 billion minds, you really enable unbelievable capability, and you bring together that kind of innovation. So we believe the rate of change due to the third industrial revolution is unbelievably massive, and now with the fourth industrial revolution, it's going to go even beyond.
How has technology changed the whole concept of community?
Technology has really dramatically changed the concept of community. By the year 2020, the gig economy is expected to reach $50 billion. Now, what's the gig economy? The gig economy is really about enabling any person around the face of the planet with a device and a connectivity to offer his or her services to the global community. Now, this is really, if you look at that, this is now enabling people in villages, in rural areas, in areas where they never had access to the world, just by simply providing them a device and a connectivity, they will be able to offer their services and capability to the globe. You can imagine this is really opening a world of possibility for people they did not have a chance before. Today, a person in the far area with a smartphone and a connectivity, they would have access to the same level of information as the President of the United States in 1995. You can imagine this unbelievable capability that enabling community to communicate, but also enabling them to participate in the world economy.
How do we then boost rural innovation and connectivity safety?
We believe that education and healthcare is at the core of what we do, and those areas are being disrupted, enhanced and accelerated by the technology and by the fourth industrial revolution. Our CEO recently visited the area and he pledged that we are going to work globally around educating 10 million through our Net Acad program over the next 5 years. In Africa alone, in the continent of Africa, we're going to be facilitating and enabling the education for more than 1 million. 125,000 of those are going to be in the area of cyber security. The capability that we are bringing, as we consider it part of our duty, is going to enable this new generation to learn the skills required to participate in the world economy.
Let's talk about investing in people and technology. How important is this?
Yeah, so the more we connect, the more we bring value. You can imagine today more than 4.6 billion people are connected to a single fabric where people are collaborating, exchanging experiences, but also participating and benefiting from this unbelievable connectivity of fabric that reaches every corner of the world. When communities are connected, they are able to learn and they are able to participate in the world economy.
Do you assist startup companies beyond providing them with various products?
For startup, we at Cisco, what we have provided, we built a platform for innovation. We called it DevNet. The developers network at Cisco, what we do is that we enable, number one, we allow them to learn. We provide learning capability. Number two, we provide a platform of innovation for development and for research. Third thing we do is that we bring communities together to learn from each other. And the fourth thing is we do is that we help them access the global capability in terms of the investment as well as innovation. People need the platform as well as the vehicle that allow them to connect and collaborate. On DevNet and the developers network that Cisco provides, we really bring the community of developers, but we also connect with ecosystem partners and partnership. Again, they learn, they share experiences, but also they collaborate together to really accelerate the pace of innovation.
How can we best overcome the infrastructure challenges in rural communities?
We are partnering with the service providers. Service providers are going to be the part of the backbone of society, where not only they are building the network that connects people, but also expanding it. And now we believe with the 5G capability as well as Wi-Fi 6, not only the connectivity is going to really reach beyond where it has reached before, it's actually going to enable even capability at speed, scale, and low latency that allow for really creating new types of application, once again, that are going to impact every aspect of our lives.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My favorite piece of technology is probably my PlayStation, because it allows me to be someone else for 2 hours of the day. So I can, be somebody else. I can be Ronaldo if I want to be, or I could be a race car driver, or then I can go back to living my normal life. PlayStation.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Today I am in Umzimkhulu in southern KwaZulu-Natal. Here's what else took place in the rest of the tech space in the rest of the world.
The story that has had many tongues wagging globally is the banning of Huawei by the US government. The Chinese smartphone maker's ban will have a great impact on global users and related industries, said a former U.S. government official in an interview with China Global Television Network in Washington, D.C.
I've represented a company before that's been affected by export controls, and export controls have very dramatic effects that are not totally foreseeable. So I'm sure that people were bringing to the White House's attention the impact that this would have on users all around the world. They knew it would have a great impact, but maybe not all the specifics.
Jeff Moon, former assistant U.S. trade representative for China during the Obama administration, made the remarks when talking about the impact and aftermath of Huawei ban on a global scale. The U.S. Department of Commerce on Monday issued a 90-day temporary license for Chinese tech giant Huawei, loosening the restrictions imposed last week when the company was added to a blacklist by the White House. And now in Canada, forget a fantasy on future. The technology on show here is a lot more down to earth. Maturity is one of the main themes at the International Conference on Robotics and Automation, an annual event this time taking place in Montreal. As the conference chair Greg Dudek explains, the big trends this year revolve less around sci-fi scenarios and are rooted a lot closer to home.
We're going to see very soon your house becoming smart. So like the interoperation of many of the devices in your house together to make the house as a whole become a robot that it can help you. We're going to see robot arms that can help disabled people actually do things and manipulate things right now, today, in the next couple of years. We're going to see, of course, self-driving car technology that is smarter and better and adaptive, so that if you're about to have an accident, the car will try to avoid it.
Some of these robots won't be deployed for another 5 or even 10 years, but the future on show here is a world within reach rather than one that's far, far away. And now in Germany, air taxi startup Lilium has staged a successful maiden flight of a 5-seater prototype that it hopes to bring into service by 2025. Whisking passengers between cities without the hassle of an airport check-in, the company announced.
For everyone, that's the most important thing to me, that this is not something to carry a few rich people. It's something that is meant to be for really everyone. And that's why we spend so much time in thinking about how can we make it cheaper.
The startup is betting on convenience, offering passengers a 15-minute check-in before boarding when they want a landing site, in contrast to the hassle of getting the airport and fitting in with airline schedules.
This week, our Twitter poll is asking you how much you know about digital currencies. This as the Reserve Bank is launching a digital currency project. In the minority are 14% of respondents who say they know a lot about digital currencies. In second place is 38%. Those are the people who say they do not know much about digital currencies. And in the vast majority on Twitter are 48% of people who say they know nothing at all. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. That's all we have for you today. From me and the rest of the team right here in Umzimkhulu. Thank you very much for being a part of our network. Have a good one. Bye-bye.